let me quickly give you the quote for today. And this quote was carefully picked by one of our latest brothers on the production team, Emmanuel Ninsin, and he did a very good pick. I'll read this to you, and you know why I'm saying it's a very good pick. And this quote says, "Don't waste another moment crying over what went wrong. If it wasn't a blessing, it was a lesson." And this quote is by Paula White. Paula White. Let me go over again. Don't waste another moment. It didn't say another minute. It didn't say another hour or day or week. A moment. It's like that. Don't waste it over what went wrong. If it wasn't meant to be a blessing, at least it was meant to be a lesson. And this is by Paula White, and it was carefully picked by our brother Emmanuel Ninsin. Welcome to the production team. You can tell our production for today is tight, and tight. Yes, I'm going straight on to my newspaper review, and then we will have our guests seated and ready to take off. We're starting, and you're having your birthday, or you had your birthday, Doris Ajua Batima of the Pentecost Hospital in Medina Estate. Doris Ajua Batima, it was your birthday and you had a splendid weekend. I told you it was a lot of back-to-back events, some cool, some sad, some happy. Trust me, I took the dancing floor at some events, but I won't show that on the screen. Let's go to our newspaper headlines for this morning. We're starting with the Daily Statesman, and it said, NDC hypocrisy exposed. And you can tell from the look on Asidi Nketiah's face, like, and so? I'm sure that's exactly what you were saying. And we have on the bottom page, Ghana lead tech education, President Akufo-Addo. President Akufo-Addo commissions new administration block, ICT center, and library for Asante Technical Institute, Swansea Technical Institute, sorry, in the central region. And Ghana leads tech education. Well, we pray we continue to lead. My grandfather will always tell you that getting to the top is not that much of a tax, but maintaining or being the top for long is what the burden is, or where the burden is. We have on the front page of the Ghanaian Times, the government restores teacher training allowances, and then Ebony laid to rest. And I can see she's still full of life. I don't want to believe she's gone, and I really want to live in that illusion that she's not gone. Deal with banking teachers, appeal court judge. So, well, appeal court judge is saying they should be dealt with. That is on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. When we have on the front page of the Daily Guide, blows in Parliament. NDC runs route over U.S. military deal. Blows in Parliament. NDC runs route over U.S. military deal. And teacher training Alawa back. Nana prioritize technical education. I really support the prioritization of technical education, because I mean it's really helping in other countries like China, Asia, Malaysia, and the rest. Even in America, you can see people starting their own businesses from their garages. So yes, if it's back to stay, let's keep it and let's do it. Technical education really can make us proud, apart from agriculture, because we're really not doing much when it comes to sports right now. Ghana. Okay, let's take the new crusading guide. Akufo-Addo keeps faith with teachers. Akufo-Addo keeps faith with teachers, and it has Hannah Tete agreement give U.S. soldiers access to Ghana's facility, Nitiwu. Okay, in team captures Greater Accra. That is, well, I don't know how that appears there, but some people are really politicking within the MPP right now. On the front page of the Chronicles, we have Ebony reigns in death. Ebony reigns in death, and it has a picture of the family of Ebony with Dr. Lawrence Tete. I think at the event, at the funeral ceremony. NDC bosses scorn Parliament over Ghana U.S. military pack 10 public gallery into noise chamber. Refused to walk out when ordered by Marshal. Well, and that is on the front page of the Chronicle. We will have our guest for today taking us into detail about some of these issues and why the what's and the where's. Probably he will be able to answer some of these questions. Let's end with the daily guide, with the daily graphic, And it has on the front page, thousands say farewell to Ebony. Trust me, Ghanaians showed so much love. So much love that I was so touched. And like I said always, I wish they would show this to her while she was alive and at some of her performances, and really didn't chastise her on social media and some other platforms. Public debt stock rises, but still within government projections. No pension for you. Supreme Court tell dismissed judge. Hey, I said nobody. No pension for you. Hey, after all these years, Wafa wall up library. Anyway, let me just keep it. This show is proudly sponsored by King's Drinking Mineral Water. King's Drinking Mineral Water is latest release from Kingdom Beverages Limited. It's carefully treated under the state-of-art treatment machines, and its quality comes next to none. King's Drinking Mineral Water, like I always said, is carefully designed and treated. It's nicely packaged, suitable for all locations and events. We had it at some funerals and weddings and parties over the weekend, and we didn't regret a bit. It was cool and sweet. Trust me, you can have a bulk purchase of King's Drinking Mineral Water at the King's Drinking Mineral Water Depot near Medina Post Office, or at the King's Beverages Limited at Gomoa Potton Junction. Their numbers are 0302 681 984, 0302 681 984, or 0240 521 276, 0240 521 276. King's Drinking Mineral Water in the purest water you can have on the market. I'm also telling you that you can join this show later on 0240 550 899. Get your text messages ready on WhatsApp 0240 550 899. Our WhatsApp line is the same as the telephone line, and you can send us regular SMS. We will read them for you, and you can also send us comments and messages on our Facebook Live. We are streaming the show live on our Facebook at Net2 TV GH. Net2 TV GH. Again, my name is Abedi Enim, and it's a dialogue show. We'll be right back after this break. Dialogue. And my name is Abedi Enim, and quickly let me just read a few of the headline topics here. The Chronicle says the ratification of the military pact between Ghana and the United States of America nearly turned the floor of Parliament into a boxing arena on Friday last week, with some minority members and leadership of the opposition National Democratic Congress leading the outlaws. Well, whilst on the minority MPs were daring a colleague from the majority side to come out of the chamber for a fight, the marshal was also engaged in a heated argument with the NDC leadership, whom he had ordered to leave the chambers for breaking rules of the House. Well, would someone say that was lawless? I don't think so. They have the immunity to do a lot of things in the Parliament House you and I cannot do. So yes, they are covered by some sort of immunity to abuse each other. I must put it simply, in some form. You can tell in other parliaments it even go to the extent of throwing chairs and blows and insults, and they are covered. Trust you me. And we'll talk to some parliamentarians in the course of the program to explain further. I think sometimes Honorable Kofi Amakohene does a very good explanation that goes down to our viewers. So if you can get Honorable Kofi Amakohene on the line to explain some of this immunity and some of these actions, because sometimes we on the other side tend to mistake. I don't really agree to some of this violence and disobedience to the marshal's order, but I mean, I know some part of the law kind of covers them when they are in Parliament to be able to proceed without a lot of break-ins. And I think the same story is all over on the other. Let me see what the Daily Graphic, the Daily Guide puts it. It said the National Democratic Congress members of Parliament on the Friday 10 Parliament House upside down and made it ungovernable in a desperate move to prevent the House from ratifying the controversial Ghana-US military deal. And I'll read what Akosia have here. And if you can get me this drawing by Akosia, it says Unapo Passion Lamentations. I want to ask Akosia, is this Lamentation chapter 1 or Lamentation chapter 2? The book of Lamentations. Unapo Lamentations. and it has a picture that look like ex-president Mahama with the Balotelli kind of haircut on. I think it's a goat. Well, yes, Hosanna, and then it has a picture of maybe a drawing like someone like Nanado saying, "Waiting day there, China, Dubai, Chamber and Hall for where? If you be man, jail me." And it has a picture. You can tell it's so funny, but it's a propaganda that hates snack, and that is from the Daily Guide. I have some stories deal with the bunking teachers. This I don't really want to touch because I really want to talk to the Deputy Minister for Education on that. I will touch briefly on a story on the front page of the Daily Statesman that says Ghana lead tech education. Ghana lead tech education, and we'll be going into details on that story. Ghana leads tech education, and I read it. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo says the goal of his government to make Ghana a world-class center for skills development and leading country in TVET delivery in Accra, in Africa, sorry. According to the president, we want to emphasize the importance of TVET and redeem the misconception that technical and vocational education is inferior and patronized only by less endowed students. Wow, I really support that. It used to be the notion that if you're not too good academically, that's where you go into technical education, and you see the ripple effect of that is what we are having right now when we call our artisans and our skilled men to come work with us or come work for us in our homes. Look at the stress we go through just because we believe or think they are those who are not too good academically. Trust me, the new crop of engineers, and I call them engineers because in Ghana right now come next to none. If you go outside the country, Ghanaian engineers who went through our technical institutions are doing wonderful. So I agree with the president. You can send us your WhatsApp messages ahead of time on 0240-550-899, 0240-550-899. Also, you can send us regular text messages. We'll read them. And on our Facebook Live, you can also send your comments. We also read them. We will activate our phone lines about exactly 15 minutes to the end of the show, which is about 8:45. And the numbers are 0240-550-899, 0240-550-899. Today we are touching on Ghana being the leading country when it comes to technical education, and then what is happening in the parliament with regards to the Ghana-US military deal and the behavior of the minority in parliament. Also, we'll touch a little bit on Ebony's last respect given to her by Ghanaians. Trust you me, I was very touched, and I really cannot say enough thank you to Ghanaians. I was really touched and I felt proud being a Ghanaian. You can tell from my outfit. I have here with me YAW PREKO. I can tell he works out, Charlie. If you see the muscles, YAW, let's say African way of fit. That's it. Charlie, the feminine.
Mate, my friend.
China weekend night.
It was cool. It was cool. We were there, and like we're saying, we had to follow proceedings. I was somewhere, so I couldn't come to the venue. Ebony's
but I think some of the stations did good. They carried it live.
Yes, so I
must say thank you to them too.
I had the opportunity of following through on some of the networks, the TV stations, and I was watching, and I saw one woman who said she had traveled from. She mentioned some town in the Ashanti region, where she came to Kumasi, boarded a car from Kumasi and came to Accra
just for the funeral.
Yes, and she didn't have a sleeping place.
Oh man!
She said she stayed throughout the night till the morning that the event was.
But she was willing to stay just to make sure she stayed. She pays that respect.
She stayed, and to me, it tells you how Ghanaians value education, how Ghanaians value sacrifice, how Ghanaians value what we do.
They reward you.
You know, so you may be doing something you think nobody's watching. When there is a need for people to say they know what you are doing, or they recognize when the time is set for them to acknowledge what
they will acknowledge.
So we wish her well. We wish her we bid her farewell, and pray that the good Lord receives her in his bosom. Yeah.
I was really, really sad, and truly, I always say, I don't want to believe she's gone. Yeah. I really would love to live in the way my state of mind right now, because I don't want to feel hurt anymore. Yeah. But that's all I keep saying. Yeah. I don't want to be extremely active in whatever is going on right now, because I want it to fade by itself. Yeah. On Friday we had a lot going on. Yeah. Your brothers and sisters in Parliament on the other side, and fiercely contesting and rejecting, and I was listening to a Stadium Ketia this morning, and he called some of his members of Parliament who sit at the far back benches. Yeah. Sounds like does that ring a bell? Yeah. And the kind of things they did on Friday. Yeah. And it tells you
the level of hypocrisy, the level of confusion, the level of desperation. Now, this is what happens. You sign an agreement allowing US some kind of cooperation. You see, in an attempt to try and bury the NPP or bury this administration, they've exposed themselves, they've opened a can of worms that almost everybody in Ghana didn't know about. That we actually went and signed an agreement, and the agreement didn't tell us what exactly we're going to give the US people, because we didn't even know about it. The then defense minister wasn't aware of the agreement. But something that has to do with the defense of the nation, the defense of the Republic of Ghana. The defense minister doesn't get to hear about it. The Minister of Foreign Affairs goes to sign it quietly, and then she comes back, keeps it, whether in her office, in her house, or in her car. Nobody gets to see it. And then the Americans come to say,
we have a pending agreement.
Perfect. Based on the agreement we had, based on the discussion we had in 2015 in Stuttgart and in Accra, these are the things we want to get from that agreement we signed. Okay, so I want to come do this in your country. Do you allow me? You go sign in Stuttgart and Ghana and say, I allow you. So now tell me the specific things you would want. I've opened the door for you. Now tell me the specific things you would want me to do for you. That is basically what they did. Without telling any Ghanaian, they opened the door for the Americans without telling us what
they actually signed to, agreed to.
Perfect. Now we want something else for the Republic of Ghana. We say, okay, we can equally do that. We can sign this quietly because it borders on the security of the nation. We wouldn't want to expose it to people. So let us sign it. We can sign it quietly. We can choose to do that. But the government says no. We say we are governing with the people. If others have made mistakes previously, it doesn't mean we have to build on them or do the same. So let us rather take it to Parliament. Let the representatives of the people see what we are signing. Let the people agree or disagree through their representatives in Parliament. My brother.
So you expected that on Friday with more of a dialogue, more of a discussion, brainstorming over the people.
We don't take the Ghanaian for granted. That is exactly what we are doing. We don't take the Ghanaian for granted. You know, we toiled for this power. Akufo-Addo, the people who follow him, we went throughout the country begging the people literally to give us the power. At the point, President Mama ridiculed us. He said Akufo-Addo is going around the country begging people for votes. And Akufo-Addo said, yes, the power resides with the people. I would beg. I would kneel down, I would beg, I would, if you want me to gesture, I will do it. And tell them I want the power. They should give it to us for us to serve them. So we know the extent to which we went and got the power. We won't play with it. So we said, okay, and Ateta signed this clandestinely. Nobody knew about it. We won't do that. Let us take it to Parliament. We all have our representatives. We can't all be in Parliament. So we choose representatives to speak on our behalf in Parliament. So those people who are in Parliament in our names, let us present the agreement to them. If YAW PREKO doesn't agree, let us parliamentarians say it. You understand? If Focus doesn't agree, let us parliamentarians say it. We want people, the parliamentarians, to discuss and say this is good or bad for Ghana. We want to open it up because we want to respect the opinions of the people of the Republic of Ghana. So we bring it to Parliament. Incidentally, those who were making the noise outside, they are parliamentarians who were going to sit on the committee, the defense committee. They didn't talk. None of them. They weren't talking. My brother, because when they sat Though we form the majority in parliament, the MPP form the majority in parliament, on the committee, at the committee level, they are more. Okay. So when they sat, MPP had about 10 people there, and the NDC, the minority, who had been going through our town with red bands, Tupac, bandana, telling Ghanaians we don't agree. They had 13 people on the panel. So the simplest thing they could have done, we don't agree, so let's subject it to vote.
Yeah,
it's simple. It's simple majority. So once they have 13 people and they say we don't want this, they can vote and disagree.
So how do you connect their representation on the committee versus how many people came outside parliament screaming and causing all this commotion?
I want to show, to answer you, I want to show this headline to the camera.
Okay. For a second, I'll give you my job. I want
to show this headline to the camera.
That is the front page of the Daily Statesman, and it says, NDC hypocrisy exposed.
It is as simple as that. The hypocrisy that shrouded everything they did. They did everything they wanted to do just to paint the government black. And in an attempt to try to explain why they were doing that, Asedun Ketia exposes them more. Do you know what he says, which is very dangerous?
What did he say?
Now they signed, and he's trying to justify why Hanatete signed that, and they said we can't argue with it. Hanatete signed, and the Americans wanted to go and fight Boko Haram.
What?
Perfect.
Well, we have not heard that on our platform.
No. Okay, so perfect. It's in your building. You can take it from Oman FM and play the voice. Yeah. So get a tape. I'm saying it. When you finish, you can get a tape from Oman FM and play it.
Okay.
Now this is what he said. The Americans wanted to fight Boko Haram. They needed a base. They needed a place to come and.
Sam, can you please check if you can get me the voice?
They wanted a place where they would organize and go fight and come back. My brother.
That's why Hanatete signed.
And we didn't know about this. Now Asedun Ketia exposes them and says this is what they did. You didn't let the Ghanaians know about it, so it wasn't only about Gitmo 2. In fact, there were more. Now we have had this second one, which was more dangerous and deadly for the Republic of Ghana. Giving space for America to fight Boko Haram. Should we be discussing
this? Territories.
Should we be discussing this because of politics? You don't do that.
So you think he was putting Ghana in the wrong?
You don't do that. You don't do that. Don't provoke Boko Haram because of politics. You don't do that. Even if we did it, as Asedun Ketia ought not to say it.
Well, certain secrets are supposed to remain secrets.
Because if you value the sovereignty, the peace, the respect you have for the people of Ghana, like you are portraying, you don't do that. You don't. You have no basis. You have no right. You have no moral justification to put Ghana in that spotlight. You don't do it. He has done it.
Well, then I think we all should not to have to blow it out of proportion. You don't have to give it that attention.
He didn't say it in his bedroom.
Well, that's true.
He didn't say it in his bedroom. He said it on the radio. He said it, and people are discussing it. They've heard it. So NDC did this to us. And now somebody wants to be transparent, and he says, I want to do this. I'm not giving Americans a launch pad to go and attack somebody. They say we are training with them. They are equally benefiting from the training. So they want to expand the figures. They want to increase the numbers. So because more people are going to come and train with us, spend time with us, our Navy, our Air Force, our Army, because they're going to have more members coming in. They want certain status, certain recognition for their people who come in. When they come, they will come with their equipment. Give me a space to house them, to house my equipment. Now, the place you give me to house my equipment, give me the right of protection and privacy of that place, so that I will keep an eye over the things I keep there. My brother, you rent my house. Let me take you, as I assume you're a Nigerian. You rent my house. I give you my room. Can I enter the room all the time?
I cannot. I need a sense. I need some privacy. I was listening to Bernard Morner on one of the stations, and he was saying that giving the people this access and this privacy is going to end up in them taking over a Chelsea welfare, taking out our military base, trying all the ammunitions here, and spoiling our water bodies.
And the agreement says the facilities we give them. So we determine the conditions of the facility we are given. It is simple. People know. They know, but they are pretending. You know, for political games, they know that if I say I am allowing you entry to Aceh, I say these are my rules, these are
terms and conditions you have to abide by.
So once you give me those terms and conditions, the Americans are saying respect it.
You know, come talk about respect terms and conditions. My driver this morning, I was discussing with him. I want to know his mind, and I asked him, so what do you think about this American USD and all of that? And he says, as for me, the way the Chinese came to take over our waters and our mining bodies, places, because of that, I don't even think we should allow any foreign countries, any partnership. And you see, if this is the information that is going down, then we are not doing Ghanaians any good. Because we are citing examples that don't match, like comparing apples to oranges.
The problem here is, in any case, this shouldn't have been in the public domain in the first place.
Because it's purely security.
That's it. And even where the Americans are going to house their things now, unfortunately,
it's been exposed.
You know, so it wasn't supposed to come out for discussion like this, but it has come. Now, once it comes, you have no reason to stay back. You have to tell the people the right truth. Yeah. Now, we as a government or as a party would want the Ghanaian to know that we respect you. That is why we say we are taking this to Parliament for your opinion through your parliamentarian. We respect you. We want your voice to be heard through your representative. So
let's discuss it.
You understand? We put it there. Now, if the minority disagree, it is simple. They have 13 people on the team. NPP
has 10.
Let them say we don't agree. They vote against it. It is simple.
But they had a fear that it will still be pushed. I was listening to an interview with one of their leaders, and he says they boycotted everything and made those noises because they don't want to even be entered in the hazard that, okay.
You didn't have to assume when you had the power to act. Don't assume. Who knows? The majority probably was also waiting. Let the committee come out and let
Has that ever happened in Ghana?
No. This is very important. The borders on the security and to some extent our rights as a country.
As a nation, yeah.
You understand? Why would the government even take it to Parliament if they don't want it to go through those processes? They would have passed it. You get me? Let us take out emotions and be realistic. Let's judge the case on the basis of its merit. The cabinet decides to push it to Parliament. They say, review this, look at it. This is what we are doing. What is your opinion? If they don't want to involve the people of the Republic of Ghana, i.e. through the Parliament, they would have passed it. So why would they bring it to you in the first place if they don't want to involve you? Now they bring it and they give you the opportunity, they give you the right, they give you the platform to say yes or no to it. And we say we assume even if we say no, they would pass it.
Because there's a saying that the majority have no way.
So if the majority has a way, if the majority always had the way. If the majority will have the final say, this in this case, they had the majority. What stopped them? What happened? So I don't want us to dwell too much on the.
What do you think weighing the goods and I would say the bads, but the benefits on the side of Ghana on this agreement, Ghana stands to gain more?
You see, that is another thing. The benefits weren't supposed to be put out there, and now
it's already out. I think the document is even out.
They've
they
pushed us to say some
out.
Things, and so the facilities we would allow them access to would be upgraded. Because they have certain standard they would want. They are for us. They are not for them. So once they are upgraded, there are facilities that have been upgraded. They would come and train with our Navy. They've been doing it for some time. Now
I know we already have that collaboration with them.
So they're bringing new equipment, modern ones, that would have cost us a lot of money to acquire
by ourselves. Yeah.
And so we are not even, our Navy is using those equipment as of now, because we have not been able to acquire them for our Navy. Now they bring them and they train and expose our people to how those equipment
are being used.
After that, we get the opportunity of owning them. My brother, gradually, you grow. Look at our oil find. It is by grace that our neighbors on the other side have agreed that okay, let's the ruling of the international court, let it prevail. If they have not agreed, or even pirates or whoever decides to attack, there are things we shouldn't be saying. My brother, it's going to be difficult for our Navy as of now to do certain things. But by the training the Americans, the cooperation we've been having with them from time to time, our Navy is coming up to speed, which is good for us. In our own capacities, there are things we wouldn't have been able to do. These things shouldn't have been in the public domain. But unfortunately, everybody is discussing them, so we have to tell the people the truth. We benefit from these things. Transfer of knowledge.
But YAW PREKO, let me take you a step back.
Yes.
Hannah signed this without letting the people of Ghana know. Here you are saying these things are not supposed to be in the public domain. So then it means she might have done the right thing by not even exposing Ghanaians to it in the first place. I don't want to go into what Asibiti said about it.
I'm not going to go there. Parliament, excuse me to say, it's a very reputable and responsible house. So you take it there. You don't expect it to be leaked. This and how it got into the media was leaked. It was a leakage. So it was
something on social media. I think I saw it first on social media.
A parliamentarian posted it on his wall. People took screenshots. Later he pulled it down.
Yeah.
Understand? A whole member of parliament.
That is unparliamentary.
Understand? He posted them on his wall. People took screenshots.
It's a national document.
And then later, after people had taken screenshots, he pulled it down. So it wasn't going to parliament for parliament to leak it. The committee sits in a closet. They don't sit in the open for everybody to hear what they are discussing. So we're supposed to go through parliament, and for the people of Ghana to have a say through their representatives who were there. So it was going to be heard in there, and also not going to be in the public domain. But unfortunately, my brother, somebody leaked it for his own parochial interest, and
but then you put the whole country
in jeopardy.
Yeah,
you expose our security. You put us at risk.
I actually spoke to a security analyst over the weekend on this issue, a personal conversation, and he told me, or he gave me history or breakdowns of the benefits we've had with other countries over this collaborations over the time, and like you're saying, how they come and after the training or workshop or whatever, they leave with us a whole bunch of ammunitions, protections, stuff that we need.
And the training, 3 specific areas, our Navy, and then there is one we call epic response, like natural disasters, flooding. My brother, look at ordinary floods, how we struggle to contain them. Look at the number of people who can die through one flood in Ghana. I wouldn't want to remind people the pain we went through with the Circle disaster, but imagine.
And I remember clearly, I think the issue of the Malcolm collapse, and same, I don't want to remember or remind families of their loss, but I wept. YAW PREKO, I wasn't in the country, but I wept. And when I heard of the rapid response from Israel and how they helped with the sniffer dogs and stuff, I thought we would have continued. Some certain things I don't say, I thought we would have taken it up from there.
And they are coming.
The display of the rapidness and this, how they were able to technically get us. We just, after they left, it's like nothing happened.
And they are coming to give us a kind of training and the equipment we need. My brother, who wouldn't want to benefit from this? Who thinks this is a useless venture? For everybody, every Ghanaian, they say, okay, we want to help your army, your armed forces get up to speed with modern epic responses.
Well, yeah, but let's leave it to the parliamentarians and their rubrics, so you see how they take it.
So
today, okay, I think my producer has a Sitting Kitier's voice. We're going to listen to a Sitting Kitier's voice, and probably if you have this picture, you can put it on the screen, and then we play that. Then we go to the next topic for today.
My picture on the
Not your picture. I said the picture. This one your voice.
So, my voice.
Okay, can we have a Sadie Kitia voice on that quickly if we do? And then today I think Mr. Opuni is going to stand trial if I'm not mistaken.
And Ghana signing agreement. Tell Monfa to International Airport Line aging post. One vaccines new one for a specific period. One will use the airport. Now among quiet ideas. One will Ebola, Nano Brazil. Agreement now is by Obia Konibek. Ghana, Nigeria, 2015. One will now crisis for our presence here over Hong Kong. At some school girls in the Manema. Independent, no control America for that within a certain period. No woman now woman to me and solve that problem. And America for that. But the Antofano one attempt one woman to me power BBDR and for direct. And the woman request I said, one more better obey your warehouses and but the only one more place for a specific period. Immunity, I cut over when you veta, when you know from Ryan Fanon Pop, and one more number be on town, and no year no big brano. And you only Nigeria for the best day in the Yamaha Pai. One more found Muyama, Ingula. Now one more be operation now, Marco Mubek. Operation no corner yet, 1 month down Muyama. It is a woo agreement to ya, who surrender in sovereignty, in perpetuity, agreement to any aspiring period. America
Wow, that was the voice of General Mosquito, and we just wanted to confirm what YAW PREKO was trying to pass across.
So now you heard it. They gave the Americans access to use our airports, our Air Force base. Yeah,
for their own to go for operations, and so.
Should we have said this in the open like this?
Well, we just wanted to. My production team actually wanted to get this cleared, and we've had it cleared. I think the rest will leave with the viewers to judge.
Now he made a comment. He said, "Emfa omo my visa emfa omo emfa oni obi nya asem a obedi boni a ye emra ni ntimi ni e wo man mu a." You see, he knows. Now we already have something we call the non-surrender agreement with the Americans. Not even a U.S. soldier, an ordinary U.S. citizen commits a crime in Ghana.
Yeah.
We have an agreement with the Americans that says we don't try him.
Yeah, you take him back to America for trial. I know about that. Today, talking about trial, the Opuni will be standing trial today.
That matter is something.
You don't really want to touch it.
But you see, we are already in times that I think people have called for certain things unto themselves, either because they hate Opuni so much, or they have issues with certain people they perceived did certain things wrong while they were in government. Let me take Opuni out. When we came into government, there were people from the other side who specifically said, we want them to try us if they say we've committed crimes.
Yeah, I read a few.
And they were telling the government, do it. If you say you have evidence, if you can't do it, my brother. Now, were they doing it because they were inciting the government? No. Were they doing it because they thought we couldn't do it, or there were certain people they had?
They knew those people were certainly going to get on the line.
So they wanted to hand them over to government. Now you may be in NBC today. This tells you that Abusiata say quiet. Say would Nigeria able to Parobe who do BSDC. You know, the family is like a forest. When you are at far, the trees are together. But when you get closer, you realize that every tree is standing
on its own.
You understand? That is what is happening in the NDC. They incited government, they incited prosecution, they incited the AG. Do it.
Don't you think at that very moment, if AG or the government had taken any action, it would have been very premature, because I'm not sure they would have gathered enough evidence to do anything.
And so government stayed back. We knew what we were doing. President gave hints, Vice President gave hints, even the AG gave hints, Deputy Attorney General gave hints. Understand? And we knew there was going to be prosecution one day, some way, somehow. We took our time to build cases. Now they are standing trial. We just pray that things go. Me, I'm not interested in somebody being incarcerated. I'm not interested in somebody.
I also don't really believe I'm not interested in that.
That is, if truly, at the end of the day, they are found culpable. Let the state attempt to retrieve whatever they may have taken.
And trust me, there will be ABC movement, AWD movement all over Ghana.
It has started.
Well,
for me, let them get let the state get what people may have taken, if that is the case. And not only this trial, other trials may come up. I'm not interested in punishing people per se, but let the state make every effort to retrieve whatever somebody may have taken. So that it benefits the ordinary people.
That is true. Benefit to the ordinary people. I think last Friday also there were lots of good stuff, and like I said, good and bad stuff, funerals and stuff happening. But Vice President launched the teacher training allowance, or restored it back. And here is President also saying that he's trying to take technical vocational education to the next level. I feel these are some of the things we need, like taking technical and vocational institutions to the next level, giving them world-class skill training facilities. I went to some secondary technical, and I'm very proud. I went through some training, technical, secondary. It used to be when you can do wood and science, and you're a wood major at the same time science, so you do physics and all that stuff generally together, and by the time you graduate, you know that you can actually put everything you have done together to become who you want to become. You can go to tech, you can further. Now President is trying to restore that confidence in the technical vocational education. But let me announce our phone lines, and then I'll let you have a take on that. You can join us now by phone on 0240550899, 0240550899, and we've discussed a few, like what's happening in Parliament regarding the Ghana-US military agreement, and we've touched a little bit on openings trial, and we're now touching on Ghana taking Ghana technical vocational institutions to the next level. And also the teacher training allowances being restored.
You know, before the previous government, before NDC took some steps back, we had the way our Ghana was like. We had the way our Ghana was. It was a Ghana where you could go through teacher training college, you would get allowances, and then after graduation, you would get posted. So there was a rhythm, there was a cycle that needed not to have been broken. But unfortunately, we ran our country aground such that we had to go to the IMF for bailout. And part of the conditions, they didn't want to announce it to Ghanaians, but part of the conditions was that
to cut all this allowances.
You know, so
okay, let me answer a call. We'll come back. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please, your name and where you're calling from.
I am Nana. We can never do that.
Never talk us, Nana.
So say, the young say, open case here, we can want to be. So, Unibala and Jabonia, said, I am finding could not go because upon this, you do what? Oh, my, yes, you know, we knew, oh, my neck is, yeah, the new one, the clear. So, in this is what I can say. Opening, maybe opening, so, 304, say, Bobby, your Bobby, to cuckoo. That's it, you're not a little cuckoo. What makes you now? Some have said the Ghana, what's on? If you say, every time in Moria, you could go back Ghana, and could go back Ghana, and up to now, I buy Missika called the Tukuku. This is called the Tukuku.
Okay.
You could give us never been at Tukuku. She can't buy answer. Why in Basa? Yeah, that's very much school. Yeah, that's in America, and this Bunya no more. Now you should have baby, I'm running down. You're fun to go to opening grand public official or public official. What mess up? You, yeah, man, you want to be.
Yes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Preko. So we're talking about teacher training allowance being restored, and so you're giving us a little bit of the breakdown.
So I was saying, before we handed over administration to NDC in 2008, there was a way Ghana was running. Even before then, you would go to the teacher training college. You had your allowances.
So you believe that the IMF conditions brought
there was a break.
Yeah.
So now we weren't given allowances again, and those who completed, we weren't able to engage them. Are you telling me Ghana doesn't need teachers anymore?
We do. As a matter of fact, we used to produce one of the best teachers and even supply other countries.
Perfect. We need teachers.
Yeah.
But because we had gone to somebody to borrow to come and run our country, they had given us conditionalities,
and we had to follow.
So that is why Nana is talking about Ghana beyond aid. Now, a Ghana that will lead its life irrespective of the help somebody gives you. So if you are able to run your country, run your budget with your own resources, and somebody comes in to help, it's additional. If the person doesn't come,
you still run. All right, let me answer a phone call and come back. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Ibrahim Kamba. I'm calling from Okanko North.
Okay, Okanko North. Ibrahim, go ahead.
Please, my greetings to Mr. Preko. Tell me, Ibrahim Kamba for the Blaze Boys.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Please, you know about NBC, they don't know what to say. Every day they put us in the darkness. Today we say Nana Addo Akufo-Addo has come to open the light to us, and we are seeing the good things, the good work. Look, all his promise, he's doing it in just a couple of years. This is a good government. My greetings to my brother Preko, and my greetings to Honorable Fedibile. He's coming after Chama. Chama 1.
Wow. You know, when it gets to this internal election times, you got people always throwing shout-outs by themselves. But hey, it looks like the guy is a big fan of you, so yes.
I don't even know him.
Hello, good morning. That's the better side of it. Hello, good morning. Oh no, your line is a bit. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
Yes, we about to do it with Alfrefi.
You're from original Kufichas. Magazine.
Okay, because we yes, you're that.
Now, opening Taka message very big for him. Said, about to a group. You were Untumi, Bernard and Chibosiako, on a February, and Ghana Bay, and TB. We grew up on Kaumuna, no mentor, said they are getting up 2020. Opening, they make us a cancer. Million NDC for me. May they be a mechanic. And last week, we share a moment. Kakaya, major woman, Tiasia. So, because you're not present, did send another down for Kufado. Our back. She say, I would share not a million NDC for the room. Namia to name another down for Kufado, a memo, Pentino. She say, you're free. Don't do an outfit, and the other day, I'm about me can say, you mean NDC for. Nana do so no memo papa no ye ojide say enkope say me 8 years no go twawe na o my Ghana aye me just so nko a ebi figa me da say
yo yes here da say. Let me get on a few of the messages that came through. This is from Asantuaba Kwame from Madina Nanakro, and he said NDC should stop making unnecessary propaganda out of any issue in the country. Sometimes I wonder if they are truly Ghanaians. The NDC should know that no amount of propaganda will make them win elections in Ghana again. God bless President Nana Akufo-Addo and the NPP government for delivering their promises. Regards to YAW PREKO for his good communication skills. Hey, YAW PREKO fans, wow. Another one from Diamond and Sean in Teshi says it is only a lazy opposition and people who don't read like the NDC who will approve an agreement at the committee level and later cry wolf when the same agreement is approved by the larger house. How else do they want us to describe them if not incompetent? Regards to Chairman Freddie Blay and Moses Abbo. Okay, Ablo. Let me take a last one and I pick a call. It says Ghanaians will identify the hypocrisy and the propaganda and lies of the NDC. The attitude of the NDC is like moving to the north to trouble the waters and then coming to the south to ask who did that. Hey, Charlie, prove power, literal translation. That's a walk of Sudan TV. All right, hello, good morning.
hello, good morning.
But you didn't even free.
Within the Mr. Jima, before free is Logan.
Okay, Mr. Jima also.
So,
But metie na one discussion no.
Your friend YAW PREKO.
All ka benefits I been in America for the CDA and I did go security about. My question is, but the question is, science in the way we go, only control the almost to them, to call, all the stuff for them and review. I could say, and to Kobe, let a day, Ghana, nobody hired this, who didn't feed in the good if you are or microphone. So, now I'm a cassette here,
Okay, well, that's a good submission. Let me take our last text message and we come to YAW PREKO for this. Thank you to President Adodanko's government for restoring teacher training allowances. Those who denied this man from becoming president in 2008 has let Ghanaians down. God bless you, Mr. President. And that is from, okay, I think no name, but I see something like Joe's. We have a caller on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Hello. Good morning. Hey, now what's way? Joe. Baby. What's for to say?
No, this time master, I'm going to train you for your money.
Joe, after the management, I got two. See, Joe, did I hear Kaka my wife? Did I hear Kaka? Hello.
I'm going to go.
After the Atonka.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go. The
Joe from Kumasi. You sao Joe. Yeah, obisu two question be mao. No say and go for the mama bano. Say yes, so yeah, mama bano. Your mom privacy now, yes, yeah, mom privacy no. So me be I say better than you. And also be from what time na come be see baby. They say yes, switch you because tree now them into your catch.
They all can betenase. Na and you said they're not going to hear no.
You might pick one corner. Hello, good morning. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Frodo. Hello, good morning. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Kobe. I'm calling from Achimota.
Okay, Kobe.
Not constituency to be precise. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, Kobe.
Okay. My contribution is I'm thinking that's what I've been thinking is a student here, since the general secretary of the NDC now doesn't have anything to say. When he's out of the system, he wants people to know he's around, so he comes back and then he comes to say anything and then goes away. So I'm saying when he says something, you shouldn't mind him. Nana Adodanko is doing a really good job for Ghanaians, and really as Ghanaians are realizing it. You know the difference between NDC and the NPP. NPP is doing a good work. Listen to Honorable President and Honorable Supreme Minister.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Register the movable papa. Yeah, it's now
fans.
Every blessed day. And there's one day a friend number for the Liberty. And besides, but quickly, no be besides say, America need to qua. Which America president or what you say they are also Canadians and what did you be?
Now, make you say. Oh, so money more de bahano and say and security no so no say some more than the akoko corporation na yɛ no hyehyɛ wɔ ho na de no a wɔde ba na nkyerɛ akode a wɔde ba Ghana ne obi ma de akɔkɔ enti ɛno no te free ho yɛwɔ nhyehyɛ no wɔ hɔ dada ɔmo ne yɛ navy deɛ wɔ hɔ ɔmo ne yɛ armed forces deɛ wɔ hɔ ɛna ɔmo ne yɛ army deɛ wɔ hɔ na ɔmo ne yɛ air force deɛ ɛwɔ hɔ enti what we are doing no ɛyɛ strictly science no a yɛ ne ɔmo wɔ no ɛho bra ne yɛ bɔ enti nyɛ akode ɔmo de ba ha ne ɔmo bi di akɔkɔ na emu ɔse sɛ me nkurɔfoɔ ba so ɔmo ne mo navy bedi nkita ho anaasɛ ɔmo ne mo air force bedi nkita ho na sɛ ɔmo de ɔmo nneɛma ba a saa nneɛma no ɔmo de aba personal effects no ɔmo de aba no a ɔmo ne mo de bedi nkita ho no mo mu ɔmo kwan na ɔmo hwɛ ɔmo adeɛ so wote aseɛ eti ɛsɛ dɛ wahan dan mo so yɛ de sɔfo foforɔ aba kurom ha na sɔrɔ ne de esi dan n'akyi ha na ba efie ne ɛpɛ so wɔtena fie wura so okay mama ne dan fie wura nim sɛ waba no asɔfo dwuma no na wɔbɛyɛ because ɛno nti de yɛbɔ odin a yɛgye ne baayɛ eti fie wura no nyɛ sɛ wɔnim na mmom dan no a fie wura de ma ɔsɔfo wɔ ne fie no ɛna ɔsɔfo se fie wura sɛ wɔma me dan no na metena mu a me bible na me cross na me olive oil me steady man wa me de aba me de ma sɔfo dwuma no sɛ me de wura dan mu a ɔsɔfo fasafo ama me
enti no na akɔyɛ ho atama no
ti ase a to na sɛ yɛ to yɛ bɔ ne kyerɛ Ghana fo mu sɛ MPP apan mortgage the destiny of the Ghanaian to the American for the yɛ ka ho bi
hello good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, sorry for keeping you waiting on the line. I just wanted the YAW PREKO to make his submission clear to the caller.
No problem.
Your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Matilda. I'm calling from Prom, but I want to speak local.
Matilda.
Yeah.
How are you? Go ahead.
I'm fine, and you?
Good.
I'm talking MP no. Because of the na medicine. All the medical classes some way say, fast Ghana ni American jersey. Always the only advantage NDC for you is because of illiteracy of Ghanaians. And I want to say more Ghanaians are illiterate to Ghana. And this MPP 4 years our propaganda is say now MPP 4 at least one opportunity about now is no person explanation. At least explanation don't will tree more. Because NDC for no almost illiterate of Ghanaians anytime they are on propaganda. We should be doing vote now they are doing now. Why wouldn't you mean America so? Instead of the America say Omuba when this is normal estate now, at least the 40% senior tree now will be a what tea or propaganda, no one wants to do more your phone and secondly, impact of me, Mr. Manhattan. Now, some more kind many do by the last point away, many and do ever opening now.
Okay.
So, okay, on the open opening, or you find the great now with Digan Sky in this Ghanaian January. My car before one in China. Or see in this canoe. Yeah, when this canoe kind of makes me kind. What's in this canoe? Not least in China. Oh, there be Okwansawama. Who will be a 1 year just handset. You're just the 7 years. Say, yeah, refine it. No, I don't know, handset make a cake. Nanka Jana, and can you put the brain dance on? You put the brain and common dance on. You can pass your say, find the guitar, maybe a walk Ghana. I was a equity of Biara or Ghana, almost some running.
Yeah, that's a Matilda. Yeah, that's a yeah, Eddie, M's also church.
Matilda, I'm also medasi. My nije who say, when nije me kasa when do I say. Nemum, the American man can say Emrano Ebono say a beer. Yet me na so say ampa Ghana sika kokodi ni ho kwan bone so a ya mi sika ne nya no da bi men kasa. The American say the essence here yampa kese. And say, the bet me says, it can be a fat pine bonus or body, the wa. When somebody a Cassicano, now I put Wagana for, and I'm a the example set to the ordinary Ghanaian like myself. So, no, and as someone American, no. So, they say, well, I'm running in the name a Korean pass, what the Ghana for coin bonus so I am ya preko na better na konya
and the man and any bit you for your last caller for today now you hello good morning. Hello good morning.
Hello morning.
Yes you but you didn't dial free
Me pa cho ko fi charge biom.
Go fi charge biom.
Me pa chan
any akasa ye ko
open de me pese me kan se me ka se sumante magazine kuma che ye me pese me kan se ye ndisi fo ne be che ya me mu ene nye ye wese din ke che me be che na nado de onye masa omu eno ma bone no mu ye twam no aya no mu se mu bi ne ye be ye me ye sa de omani si ye no ana na nado dan kwa so obeye na ye tuaba e de pim to ye bie ni nkoso eno ana na nado eti omani su pese obeye amayo ebe ni be pese de buka se yewra mosquito
Martin Amidu
wọ́n kíkẹ́ nù ní ẹ̀sìn sí dẹ̀ ń di ìsìnkú náà wọ́n ṣe é dẹ̀n kọ́ yẹ ṣọ́kọ̀ ní ọmọ abẹ́ bọ́kọ́ náà ṣe yẹ ń dì mí kìrìpọ̀ mu náà ẹ̀yẹ́ náà mi sùn kọ́ ayé mi yá so ní ẹ̀ mọ́ nfa ẹsẹ̀ àmì mu nanado dáńkọ̀ ẹ̀kúfọ̀ àdó nyàkúfọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́nà àwọ̀dẹ́ à ẹ̀sùn bò mí dá sí.
Yes yẹ dá sí yà orí ẹ̀ ń sẹ̀ ọmọ àti wàá tún ní òkà sáyẹ́ntì ẹ̀yẹ́ ní ẹ̀ wá pé àbí wọ́n sọ wọ́n máa mọ̀ fa náà ló sọ fún ẹ̀ tó aṣọ but just a little bit wọ́n sẹ̀ yeah decided say Rebecca Tree near the Brofo Afra any other languages but they are purely true programs are boiling points no more national agenda no more there purely true and to say up a very true version now dialogue yes but in we are into the true version the twasono into show when we are yes and the tree no so atwaso amount but we know o can fear Rebecca Tree o can Brofo so Rebecca Brofo ya sheda ye said the bear obia benya ne die o kan igbe ya preko awusan so tepa eti e make sure say guess e dey mba show ni so but the other kasa no be fakra dagbani dagati em na ye beka bi me na da French cry e be saka ana ya wo ba eti ye sorry so
eti ye da nyankopon asese enen so aja ode ya ba wie pa ode ya che yen na ye be sere MPP fo ne Ghana fo ni na ase yen kan akomanto ye yem MPP aban enim de da Ghana fo akomaso and the G2 mu say beba ni abeya magana for enti mo ma de NDC for beka and some beka di do mbe ye mumu munye didie ni arrange mu so yankopon ya adom ni atinkom normal president then the vice nkwa normal party mpanifo nyina nkwa minim sa brepam de ye nyina da eda yakoma so a hwe ho to aba no ye nsa beka aga na so afa ne ntoma na say yeah, confer US military base. They are back Ghana and one day. And you know, Ghana buying the US for one agreement to be as or the US military base back Ghana. US for say, you know, more cooperation be, and no more it will be. Almost soon, your home fast will be. It's almost per se a decree and no one she said on the Abra Ghana. Say cooperation and more than
and one you me that say and they say see a catching YAW PREKO acting deputy communications director for NPP. And I also mention in some channel what to say wako school pa na vi mundo na onim dia so enti AI fellow issues o say answer well this is the dialogue. My name is Abidin. Thanks all for making time with us and thanks for all our friends who followed us on the World Wide Web also through Facebook Live, and we'll be uploading our videos after the show on our YouTube handle, and you can watch us as many times as you want. Keep sending your messages and your voices, and we will be with you again tomorrow same time. This is the dialogue. We're out of here making way for Amofa on the national agenda. Stay tuned and don't go away.